Hi guys, I'm Carlos at the Carlos Method. Today I'm going to take you through a 30-minute LIIT workout. LIIT stands for low intensity interval training. I'll explain as we go through the workout, but it's a low intensity of effort and work. We're still going to have a good workout, safe and effective. It's ideal for beginners or people coming back from injury or just getting back into their fitness routine. Let's get started. Okay guys, let's get started. We're going in 20 seconds. First off, we're going to start with the downward dog. What I will say before we start, like and subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell for weekly updates. And follow along with me. Follow me. We're doing workouts on Mondays and Thursdays here. So downward dog, starting in 3 seconds. Hands under the shoulders, feet under the hips. And I want you up, guys, there. So drive the hips up into the air and then back out, down into like a press-up position. So you're a high plank position. You're going to drive the hips up high. We're going to get a nice stretch through the hamstrings and the calves, okay? So driving the hips up. Now from this position, what you can then do is a calf stretch, so alternating calf stretch. So make sure the feet are directly in a straight line and you're just going to bend and straighten each leg. Okay, so hang up there for a little bit. Once you've done a few of those, come back down and back up into the downward dog and then alternating through the legs here. Got 25 seconds, so I just want to get you mobile before we go into some core work and some leg work. So hips up high, pike the hips up and then alternating legs. Keep the legs straight. It's a nice stretch through the calf, foot and ankle, with the hamstrings, okay? 10 seconds left, or under 10 seconds. Just really hold it up there, and then a few more to finish. Okay, so 10 seconds recovery, then we're going to go into a pigeon stretch. Now, I'm not great at this, but I'll coach you into it. You want to make sure that this leg is ideally at 90 degrees, or as close as possible. We're going in 3 seconds, guys. And then you want to drive the other leg back, head is up, chest is up. An amazing stretch for the glutes, for the piriformis particularly, external rotators of the hip. What a lot of people incorrectly do is they let the leg come down here. There's nothing really going on. So what you want to do is bring that leg out and get a nice open stretch there. Get this leg nice and long, chest up. And we're doing this for like, so just play about with it. Don't hang in the stretch for too long. So just spend, you can pause this video obviously at any point if you need to. Take longer rest periods or do longer work when you need to. We've obviously condensed it down. We want it to give you a good varied 30-minute workout. So you can see, obviously, I'm tight. I'm working on this pose at the moment. But I'm fit in other areas, you know. I do a lot of running and weight training. And sometimes one of your components, you know, isn't as good for me. It's flexibility. For a lot of guys, it's flexibility. So yeah, so ideally you want 90 degrees here. And you want that leg back, so you'll get a nice stretch on the hip flexors as well as the glutes. Okay, so that was your pigeon stretch. Now cat and cow stretch. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Now from there, I want you to tuck the chin down, curl the tailbone underneath you, raise to the ceiling, and then come back out, so head up towards the sky. So you're tucking the chin down, vertebrae by vertebrae, curling up to the ceiling, and you're arching back the other way. You see why it's called a cat-cow? So here's obviously the cat position, and then you're coming down. Sorry, here's the cat position, sorry. So the cat's arching up, you know, like a scaredy cat. And then you're coming down like a cow with, you know, the belly hanging down. Okay, now make sure when you do the exercise, cat-cow, that you're moving vertebrae by vertebrae. So don't rush it. You just want to get a nice movement through the spine. A nice slow movement through the spine. So back into it, so there. Up. And here's your cat-cow. What I don't want to see is this movement going forward and backwards, yeah? So you're just going upwards. And back down. Just take your time on this one. Just a nice mobiliser for the spine. Gets the spinal fluid moving around. It's a nice one to loosen up. Okay. Child's pose with diagonal reaches. So just on your knees, hip width apart. Now you're going to reach out in a straight line. Okay. And then what you can do, we're in guys, then you can reach over to the sides. You'll get a stretch obviously as you're reaching to the side. You get a nice stretch on the lats here, as well as the low back. Now the benefits of LIIT training are, it's obviously lower intensity, so you're not running around, there's no jumping and bouncing and high impact stuff. Because obviously some people, you've got to cater for everyone, and HIIT isn't for everyone. It is obviously very, very effective. A lot of my training with my clients in North London, the Carlos method is HIIT training. Just keep reaching side to side guys, diagonal. Nice stretch on the lats and down the middle. Okay, low planks, so hands underneath the shoulders, legs straight. I just want you to hold a straight line there. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your abs, and just a straight line. If you get tired of that, you can just go on your knees and just hold a line there. But try and get in front of a mirror. You want your abs tight, squeeze your bottom, and just a long straight line. Chin tucked down, Okay, so we're doing this for 30 seconds, all right? And then we're gonna go for some press-ups on the knees. So I've deliberately made this like a core focus workout. We've got some ability and flexibility work in there as well, because it's different to the HIIT training. With the HIIT training, we're going for some press-ups, guys. On your knees, hands outside shoulder width. And then from there, you're going to go slowly down to the mat, and then slowly back up. Yeah, so just a 3/4 press-up. You can do forms if you want that, be just up on the toes. I'm going to say on the knees with probably a lot of people that are doing it. Yeah, so like I said, LIIT training is obviously lower intensity. You can actually still burn the same amount of calories as a HIIT session, but obviously you'd have to train for a lot longer. So you'd be going for, like, rather than a 30-minute HIIT session, you burn 300 or 400 calories, you'd maybe have to go for 60, 75 minutes. It just means you've got to work out for longer, because obviously it's less intensity, the heart rate's not as high. Okay, so side plank. So get the elbow directly underneath the shoulder, legs straight, and then you want the hips and shoulders stacked. So I just want you here, guys, we're just going to go statically. If you've seen some of my other videos, I do sometimes rotations, your legs are coming up, we're doing hip touches, but now we'll just do it static. This is obviously low intensity interval training, so we're keeping it simple, keeping it more basic now. So we have a look at the clock. Okay, we're going in 15 seconds, guys. So in 30 seconds on each side. So here's your side plank. Great work for the QL muscle here, and a lot of your core has to obviously stabilise to work, to hold you up. About 5 more seconds. And back down. So change sides. 30 seconds left. Yeah, so whilst HIIT training is very effective, if you're just getting back into exercise, like I said in the intro, if you're just starting back, obviously you need to build a base of aerobic fitness, build a base of lower intensity work, and then obviously gradually increase from there. But you don't want to jump straight into HIIT training because you want to make sure you've got good flexibility, good core strength, and good range of movement. We're going a few more seconds here, guys. Hips up. Sorry I'm talking, I'm just trying to give a lot of coaching, obviously, and I like to give a lot of knowledge to people rather than just do a workout and stand there, you know, with my mouth closed. Okay, so lying on your back, so we'll go for some dead bugs. So, legs at 90, arms up straight, opposite arm, opposite leg. It's a great exercise, core stabilisation exercise. And I guess the people that are kind of doing this workout, again, either beginners or you're just coming back into exercise, just starting back, or you've maybe had an injury. And obviously when people have had, obviously back injuries are very common, or low back pain is very common at some point in people's lives. Just because of sedentary living and tightness in the hips, weakness in the glutes and core, just lack of use really. So this is a great exercise just to really train the deep tummy muscles. So basically the back's flat, I'm imprinting my lower back into the mat, the head is down and relaxed. I'm going opposite arm, opposite leg, so contralateral, opposite arm, opposite leg. Breathe out strongly, strong exhalation. I can really feel that pulling across my core muscles. We've got 12 more seconds, guys, here. This is your dead bug, okay? So opposite arm, opposite legs. Just a nice core stabilisation one. Okay. And like I said, feel free to pause at any point during the video. Take more rest if you need to. Bicycle abs, so back on your back. And we're going to be here, guys. Fingertips on your temples. I'm going to go elbows to knees, all right? So elbows to knees, nice and slow. Don't rush it. Breathe into the turn. I want the elbow to the top of the knee. This is a good one to work the obliques and the internal external obliques, as well as the abdominals down the middle. If you get tired or you're feeling your back, just rest for a little bit. Get your breath back and do some low back stretching if you need to, and then go again. You can pause the video, like I said, when you need to. I've really watered this one down, this workout, compared to some of my other workouts, because we had a few comments, a few messages from clients and new subscribers to our channel. They wanted to see something like this. So yeah, always give me your feedback and tell me what you want to see on the channel. We will always provide new content, creative content, and stuff you guys can use. It's practical and helpful. 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, rest. Okay. So we've loosened up the hips and the muscles around the hips. We've hit the core a little bit now. We're going to go some body weight squats in 3 seconds. Feet shoulder width apart, nice and tall. You're just going to squat down slowly and then back up. All right. So imagine you're sitting back and down on a chair. So with your hips, you're going to sit back and down. Keep the weight through the heels. Clasp your hands. We keep them on your hips. I tend to clasp mine. All right. So that's your body weight squat. I'm going to show you front on. Try and get in front of a mirror and make sure you've got good symmetry. So the knees aren't collapsing. You're not shifting. You're not twisting. All right. There's your body weight squat. Make sure, have a look down at your feet, make sure they're in line, they're not like staggered. All right, that's your body weight squat. Okay, my sister's telling me to smile again. I tend to, when I'm a coach, I tend to switch off. You know, or as in not switched off, but I'm switched on, but in terms of my expressions. All right, so here we go. So body weight squats, just nice and slow, not going crazy. Again, if this was a HIIT session, high intensity interval training, I'd get you doing, once we're fully warmed up, I'd be doing jumping squats and box jumps and all sorts of things like that, you know, running on the spot, high knees. But there's no impact today. It's slow, controlled. Just want to get you moving, you know. Get you back into exercise, or if you're coming back from injury. Okay, so light jogging on the spot, so just nice and relaxed. In 5 seconds, we'll be jogging on the spot. So I'm very relaxed here. Shoulders are down, chest is up, just on the toes, balls of the feet. If you've got knee pain, you don't like this one, just go with a march with an arm drive. Yeah, so you can just go here, chest up, shoulders down, nice and tall. Or you just go a gentle jog. Now the mat I've got, you'll see, is like 50 centimetres thick. It's a very thick, soft mat. So obviously I wouldn't do it on the pavement that's around me, so just filming my sister's car park today. So yeah, nice and light on your feet, just jogging on the spot. If you get tired, when it starts to hurt your knee, just go to the marching step. Okay, so just here. You can always modify and progress the movement as you need to do it. Got 30 seconds left, so a bit of a pulse raiser, gets the heart rate up gently. And that's the thing, because obviously HIIT training, you've got 80–90% of your heart rate is going boom, boom, boom. With this low intensity interval training, LIIT training, it's been a trend since about 2017, what I've seen online. I think it's starting to gather a bit of pace, because not everyone can do HIIT training. It injures some people if you haven't got the movement and the strength and conditioning. And some people just want an easy workout sometimes. If you've got a very stressful job and you're very stressed within your body, doing HIIT training can make you worse. So it can add to your stress. Okay, so controlled static lunges on the spot. Okay, so nice and tall. Take one leg back, tilt your pelvis, lock your core. I just want you here, guys, yeah? Just do a static lunge on the spot. So make sure you've got 90–90 on both legs, looking straight ahead, shoulders back and down, engage here tightly. And work the range you can. Don't go too low. Find the range that's good for you. Because when I go too low in my lunges sometimes, I feel like my knee. And I had a bursitis once for about 3 weeks. I'm going too low on a lunge. So doing 30 seconds on each side. So do what feels comfortable. Just a nice, slow, controlled tempo. You probably hear by my voice as well. I'm in an open area a bit more. Normally my sister's under a sheltered area, so I'm a bit louder. But also it's a LIIT session, so we're not going crazy. We're working out. We're not going mad. Normally I'll be shouting and going at the camera and really pushing it. But we're still having a workout. We're moving, we're getting blood flowing around, we're getting mobile. So here's your other side. Now you might find one side is tighter than the other. Keep your shoulders back, keep your chest up, chin tucked in, chin tucked down. Now, I've done them on the spot to start with these lunges, just so you can see where you're tight on either side. See if there's any asymmetries going on. Okay, so onto the mat, we'll go for kneeling press-ups. So on the knees, hands outside your shoulders, slowly down to the mat. Yeah, nice and slow, nice and easy. Not going crazy. Focus on your breathing. So deep breath in, and then breathe. Deep breath in. Keep a long straight line. If you get tired, just pause the video. We'll have a little rest. I know for some people doing this video, they're going to find it hard. Some will find it easy. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. But like I said, this is LIIT training, so it's a different form of training to HIIT training. You'll see it's a lot more slower paced. And we're going to a plank, guys. 30 seconds of a plank. It's a straight line. It's a lot less dynamic and running around, no jumping around. And like I said earlier, if you've already got a very stressful job, some people need the HIIT training to de-stress and unwind. But some people equally need this kind of LIIT approach, which is, you know, softer on the body, easier on the body. Obviously, you won't burn as many calories per unit of time. You have to work out for longer. But it's got its place. Okay, walk out. So stay nice and tall. I'm just going to come to the edge of the mat. We're still in focus back, yeah? Okay, I'm going to stand, just over here. You're going to bend the knees, crawl out down to mat into a press-up position, bend the knees, and then stand back up. Simple as that. So just walking out, mobilising through the ankle, knees, hips and back. Okay. Now you might see these online. People do it with a straight leg coming up to get more into the hamstrings. I don't really find them that comfortable, and I think you can risk hurting your back if you're not doing it correctly. So I like to put a bit more bend on the knees, and you're still getting some mobility work, and you're loading through your torso and through your legs. So it's obviously get my heart rate up a little bit. So these are your walkouts, modified walkouts. If you can't get down to the floor, you can just go down. You can do little ones down here. And you just stay down low. If that's easier. Just modify the movement to suit you. 13 seconds left. I've got a sweatshirt on. I don't normally have sweatshirts on, but the British weather, I mean, you don't know if it's going to rain or snow or cold or hot. You don't know what's happening sometimes. It's a bit chilly at the moment. Okay, so alternating reverse lunges. Nice and tall, shoulders back. Hands on the hips. And I want you here, guys, yeah? So abs tight, engage your abs. Bend that back knee down towards the floor, all right? I'll show you the other side. Can't face the camera for this long, so I'll fall off the mat. All right, so head looking straight ahead. Lock your abs. Get that bend on the back knee, 90-90. And just breathe, you know, breathe. Just get your breath. A lot of people, especially when they're doing HIIT training, they're just 100 miles an hour, they're breathing heavily, chest tightness. This is good because it gets you thinking about your technique and your form, your posture, your alignment. And it gets you, breathing through the movements properly. I'm always telling my clients back in North London at the Carlos method, to breathe on the exertion phase. If you're doing a bench press, you're coming down, you're breathing out as you're pressing. I'm always telling people to breathe through the hard phase. Otherwise your blood pressure is going to go up and it's, that's not going to be good for you. So there we go, I'm going to do another side on profile. You can see from both sides. So just find the angle that's comfortable for you guys, yeah? Whew. Okay, side plank, both sides. So back onto the mat, elbow underneath the shoulders. And I'm going to get you here, hips up really, really high into the air, arm up straight to the sky. You're going to hold that posture. Hitting the curl muscle, like I said before, key stabilizer of your lower back. And if you do suffer from back pain of some kind, then this is gonna help strengthen around that area. The stronger you are in your core, in your glutes, your hips and your core, the more resilient your tissue is and the less chance of injury. Make sure your head's in line with your body. Keep the hips up as high as you can. Where are we? Keep holding, guys. And we're going to change sides. Yep, 30 seconds left. Like I've said previously, pause whenever you need to on the video. Grab some water, stretch out some more if you're tight somewhere. This is the other side plank. Hips up high, arms up straight, shoulders are stacked, hips are stacked. I just want to give a lot of coaching points. So I think it's important to know exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it. What's the purpose and the point of stuff. Otherwise, you need to know why you're doing these exercises sometimes. So this is just a good core exercise to strengthen through here. Okay. Dead bugs again. So lying on your back, we've gone back over some of the exercise we did earlier. I always emphasise a lot of core work. Legs at 90, arms up straight, opposite arm, opposite leg. Breathe as you extend. All right. There we go. The back stays flat, your core is engaged. All right, 40 seconds left, guys, yeah? And I always emphasise a lot of core work with my clients back in North London, the Carlos method. Because obviously it's so important, everything emanates from your core. The minute you move around, you're picking stuff up, your kids, you're shopping, you need to be engaged here, you need to be strong here, you need to have some conditioning there, otherwise you've not got the support of on the spine and you risk back injury. And it's so common, isn't it? Back pain, back discomfort, more serious back injuries. So you want to be as strong through the middle, through your torso as much as possible. So the thing to take away from this video, if you're going to take anything away, is I would say really work on your core conditioning, really work on strengthening this whole area, get it really strong. Bicycle abs, sorry, on your back again. Okay. Now, fingertips on the temples, elbows to knee, just slow and controlled. This is our cat here, if you can see her. Tiggy the cat, she always gets fascinated by that timer behind me. She always hangs by me. She's a lovely cat, but if you stroke her for too long, she tends to want to bite you or scratch you. So she's got a funny temperament. Nice cat, but funny temperament. Okay, so across here, elbow to the top of the knee. So here's your bicycle. 30 seconds left, guys, all right? Slow and controlled. Breathe into the turn. Focus on your breathing. I don't want you holding your breath, so breathe. 20 seconds left. Slow it, nice, slow and controlled movements. Nothing fast or rapid. 10 seconds, guys. Oh, I feel like burning. It's a nice burn. Oh, okay. Slow body weight squats. Now, okay, you'll notice I hook my leg when I come up. That just protects my back, so be careful coming off the mat. Bodyweight squats, feet shoulder width apart, hands clasped. You sit back and down through the hips, and stand up tall. Make sure the weight's through the heels, equally throughout the foot, but drive up through the heels. Okay, so I'm going to face the camera. Imagine, there's a line drawn down the middle of me. You can assess my squat pattern as well. So if you drew a line down the middle of me, it should be even. You don't want to be twisting or rotating or the knees collapsing. You want your knees to track over your second or third toe. Okay, and what I would definitely recommend is make sure you get yourself in front of a mirror and check your squat pattern. Just body weight first, unloaded. Because if you can't squat correctly with body weight, you should not be loading it. I see a lot of people in the gym loading it with heavy bars in their backs and dumbbells. I can't even back squat myself, and I train like 7 days a week, 6-7 days a week. So it's different exercises suit different people. I'm fine squatting body weight with some bands around my legs. Bands are really good. So you just got to be careful about the exercise you do in the gym. And that's the problem sometimes with HIIT training. If you've not had any prior PT or any coaching, then you can run into these exercises and get injured potentially. Okay, so light jogging on the spot. So back to the jog. So nice and light on the balls of your feet. Remember, we've got the march if you find that too hard. So feel free to comment on this video. Let me know what you think. And like I said, I wanted to show you the difference between HIIT training, which is like really maxing out 8 on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard you're working. It's 8 or 9. You know, you're near your limit. And LIIT training, say, is like 4 or 5, 5 or 6. You know, it's within a range that's comfortable for you, but you're not pouring buckets of sweat. You're just working out just gently. So I'm nice and light on my feet, on my balls of my feet, on my toes. Whew. And do you know what? I'm a fairly fit, pretty fit PT, and I feel like I've worked a bit here. You know, I'm not obviously maxed out by any means, but I shot a video earlier of HIIT training. But I've got my heart rep a little bit here, and I've mobilised myself, my core's switched on a bit. So yeah, and that's someone that trains all the time. So I can imagine someone that's not trained for quite a while, always injured, coming back, is gonna find this helpful. Okay, so controlled static lunges on the spot. So back to what we did before. So leg out nice and long, stay tall, engage your abs. I want you to sink that back knee down to the floor. All right, so just static lunges on the spot. All right, so this knee should track over the ankle or like the middle of the foot. You don't want it careering too far forward because it's going to shear your knee. All right, so nice and tall, engage your abs, tilt your pelvis. Just get a nice controlled lunge up and down, nice stretch through the hip flexors and the quads. And that's the other thing as well, guys. If you do find you're tight or restricted in certain movements, where are we on the time? 5 seconds. Okay, if you do find you're tight and restricted on some of your movements like lunges or squats and things, then the best thing I'd probably recommend to do is to go and get a deep tissue massage. Go and find a really good deep tissue massage therapist. Whoops. And get some massage regularly. And on top of that, some foam rolling. Get onto a foam roller. Check it out online on Google. You know, Google just to understand what it is. If you don't know what it is, get a foam roller, like a self-massage tool. And obviously stretching. If you get the right yoga class, or just pick out some yoga moves like I've done today, some regular stretching is important. Kneeling, press-ups and a plank, back onto the mat. And we've got about 7 minutes, guys, then we're done, all right? So on your knees, hands outside the shoulders. Slowly down and come up. And slowly down and come up. Yeah, so like I said, this has been a trend since 2017 from what I can see roughly. And I think it may start to gain a bit more ground. Because like I said, there is a market of, you know, there's a segment of people that want more low intensity stuff. They still want to work out, but they just can't work out at such a high intensity and such a fast pace. It could be due to age. You know, as you get older, your body just can't do it. Into a plank, guys. But like I said, it can be some kind of bug there. It could be age or injury, or just a want. You know, sometimes it's the motivation, and you just want to have an easier, lighter session. You don't need to go crazy all the time. And you know, we're working out for not just fitness, we're working out for health benefits, aren't we? So to ascertain health benefits, it doesn't always have to be super intense. Rest. Okay, so we'll go for walkouts again. So I'm going to come over to this side of the mat. We're going to bend the knees, walk the hands out, and then come back up. So shoulders back, keep really good posture. Bend the knees. And do you know what? I've got one client one of my clients, she's about, I think she's like 70, back in North London. Won't mention her name, she probably won't want me to mention her name. But she walks the equivalent of like a marathon every week around London. So on one of her days, she walks from where we are based to Victoria, which is central London, back. So it's a good, I mean, it must be a good, no, sorry, she walks there, but then gets a bus back. Sorry, my mistake. So it's about a 2.5 hour walk into London, central London, and then she just gets the bus back, which I think is pretty amazing for that age. But that's obviously low intensity training. Maybe not interval training because she's doing it continuously, but low intensity training. And I went for a walk with my dad the other day. We walked for about a good 45 minutes an hour, and it felt good. You know, I'd had a nice walk, got some sunshine and fresh air, and it didn't have to, you know. So earlier in the week I'd done some really hard runs and sprints, you know, running around the football pitch, which was good as well. But equally, it's nice to just, you know, low intensity, just take it easy, go for longer duration. Okay, so where are we? Single leg bend. Oh, sorry, on the mat. Sorry, I'm just chatting away here. So on your back, legs at 90. Now one leg out straight, and then switch, and switch. So one leg bent, one leg straight. Breathe. Sorry guys, my mistake. I'm always trying to just coach and coach. Lost myself there. So head and shoulders off the floor. This is a single leg, bent leg stretch. Breathe out as you extend. Breathe. So make sure this leg's long, this leg's bent, support the spine. Really breathe out and engage your core. Strong exhalation. Amplify the tension in the abdominal region. Lightly grasp on the shin bone. Okay, this is all back-to-back work now. So slow mountain climbs. So hands underneath the shoulders. You need to go here, up to the chest and back out. Up to the chest. About take a pause whenever you need to, guys. Don't overdo it. I just want you to guys have a safe, effective workout. Make sure you haven't overexerted yourself. So you can see the foot's off the floor, my back's nice and long. I'm drawing your knee up into the chest. If you get tired, you need to stretch it out. Just come down into a child's pose. It's, reach through the fingertips, sit back through the hips, and you can just come back up again. So knee up to the chest, back nice and long. Actively engage your abdominals. Slow mountain climb. And obviously if this was a HIIT session again, the opposite of this would be like a fast mountain climber. You know, mountain climbers up into burpees, press up with mountain climbers, you know, it's a lot more jacked up, amped up. So, and rest. Okay, right, it's a stretching period now, 3 minutes of stretching, so lying on your back. Now I want you to do a low back stretch, get one leg straight, pull one knee across your body. Oh God, that's clicking all over the place here. Get the head down, looking to opposite side. And then switch sides. Now obviously take more time on these if you need to. We're just running through just a few stretches just to loosen you out. 1 foot on the knee, grab behind the back of the thigh, pull that foot in towards you. Great stretch for the glutes here, Piriformis. And they get really tight on people, you know. Like I said earlier about the massage and foam rolling and stretching, if you've got tight muscles, then you risk more injuries and stuff. And if you haven't got the range of movement to pick up something off the floor, pick your kids up, bend down to tie your shoelace, you need to get the range of movement there, the movement quality and the strength in the tissue. And the only way you'll do that is by working on the actual muscular system, releasing it through massage and stretching and things like that. Pigeon stretch, we'll go back to the one we done earlier. So this leg's at 90 degrees. Now we can spend a bit more time with this time. Because we're doing it at the end, it's more of like a cool down stretch, so we're not I'm just going to hold this one this time basically. Try and hold it for 30 seconds on each side. Pause the video if you need to. Now, I'm doing this as best as I can. You can see it's probably not actual perfect alignment. If you go on YouTube and, Google images and stuff, you'll see they'll really show you the exact angles. But this is at 90 degrees, basically. Obviously, I'm a bit off, but this is at 90 degrees. This leg is out nice and long. Your chest is up. You can fall forward, but then you lose the stretch on the hip flexors. Change sides. So this leg as far forward as you can. Like I said earlier, if this foot is too far in towards you, you're not getting a stretch on your glutes at all. So it's a bit pointless, really. So nice and tall. And try and gradually bring that foot forward so you're at a nice right angle, yeah, with your chest up. This back leg stays nice and long. It's a final stretch, guys. Straddle stretch. So get the legs out nice and long. It's the final one of the day. Legs out wide. Stay nice and tall through your spine. Keep the feet pointed towards the ceiling. Now this is obviously a great one to stretch the long adductors here. There's 5 adductor muscles on the inside of the leg here. Got 2 short ones, 3 long ones. So stretching the long ones particularly. Obviously the hamstrings. So to get more of the hamstrings, you can lean over. Keep good posture and fold from the hip. Make sure you're not rounding through your back and just collapsing over it. It's nice and tall. And you just spend a bit of time each side, yeah? So chest up, hips out. Just play about with it. You know, I'm just holding each stretch a few seconds. Go for 10, 15 seconds, 20 seconds. And yeah, just play about with your stretching. Sometimes people just go through the motions and they hold the stretches. They're not actually feeling where they're tight and where they need to increase the range. Really be mindful of where you're actually tight and work on that. All right, guys, so that was your 30-minute LIIT workout. Let me know what you think of the video. Like and subscribe to our channel. Follow us every week for weekly updates. But post your comments at the bottom of the video and let me know how you got on with this one. A lot of our stuff on the channel is typically HIIT training and all different types of training. We want to do a lot of variety on the channel. So we'll probably do another one of these as well. So keep tuned and I'll see you guys in the next workout.